Hi, and welcome. Last time we did a painting using cold wax and palette knives, and we talked about the process, how the paint felt, how to mix it, different things like that. This time we're going to do the same painting, but we're going to be using brushes, so we'll be able to compare between the two processes, which one we might think is better, which one works best for us. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that notification bell so that you'll be alerted to new videos. And please share this video with someone who you think might learn from these fundamentals. I'm Kendall Stump, and welcome to the Stump Project. Okay, so we're going to start the same process. We have a yellow toned canvas, and the reason for this is because well, a couple of reasons. One, if some artists don't like to start with a white canvas because it seems intimidating, so you tone it to kind of help take away that white. But toning a canvas also helps you to see the lighter values easier when you initially start off, or the darker values as well. So that's another reason why you might do this. The reason why I'm doing it is because I know that there is an undertone of yellow throughout the entire painting. So I put it's just acrylic paint as a wash. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to get some color on there. You can see the streaks in the painting, in the undercoat as well. I mean, already we have this tone, and I'm mixing cold wax on my palette with my paint. You don't mix it any more than a 50-50 ratio. So we're going to compare this week using brushes versus a palette knife, and we'll see if one painting looks better than the other. Now I will probably have an advantage this week because I kind of know how the painting is going to turn out. I know the process that it's going to take to fulfill that painting versus last week, but we'll see how it ends up. One other thing that I did to this painting to get it prepped, or to this canvas to get it prepped, was I coated it with a thin coat of liquid. And then those of you who don't know liquid, this stuff here helps speed up the drying time of oil paint. So if you are impatient like me, you'll find benefits from these alkyd mediums that help speed up the drying time. So because the process is going to be very similar in how we talk about value and composition and everything, just as it was last week, I may not be doing a whole lot of talking. This may just be me getting paint on canvas, just so that we can see how the end result works out. But we'll see. I'm using the side of my brush here to kind of keep and you see me doing this throughout like this, to knot the brush strokes back just a little bit, just to smooth out the sky. I'm just looking for something a little smoother, a little bit more in control than a little tighter than the palette knives that we used last time. What I did here to get the color for this, the base color for this cloud, was I took some raw umber, this cerulean blue that I used for the sky, and then I had mixed some of this yellow down here and some of this orange down here, and just put it all together until I continued to use those same colors until I got the shade that I wanted for these clouds. So I can, and using the same color and keeping the color palette consistent helps to keep your painting itself consistent. And then I broke them down into 3 different steps or 4 different steps by adding some of the lighter sky color to each one, just to kind of step it down so that I can have some color variations. And remember, clouds are just clouds. There's little puff. You just use puff balls. You just use your brush and just kind of scrub a little bit on your canvas. Just let it just dance and mix a little bit, however you like, to get the effect that you want. They don't have to be. Please don't draw the perfect little clouds. The clouds don't act that way. And right now you're just trying to get color on your canvas, and then after a while you can smooth those out and fluff them up. And so this is just the base color, the darkest color of the cloud. And you can pick up some additional hue or color just by changing the flavor of it a little bit. It'll all blend in together, and you're using the same color palette, so as long as your values remain the same, it's going to make sense. I am noticing as the paint goes on, it goes on easier. I think it goes on more like butter. Depending, of course, on how much paint you put on and all that. But I mean, I don't know that I can tell. If I have a preference, I mean, it kind of between brushes and palette knives. I don't know, really. Maybe it's just the mood that you're in at the moment, perhaps. And the brushes that I'm using this week are just the Otter's Loft brushes. I haven't picked up any of the my Rosemary & Co. just yet. I mean, I may, but for the time being, I haven't. I'm trying to keep this relatively loose. I'd like to be able to compare apples to apples when looking at these two paintings side by side. So having a tight finished painting versus a loose palette knife painting isn't necessarily going to help us to determine if one worked out better than the other. So I'm just trying to keep this loose. This is my 1-inch natural bristle brush from the Bob Ross collection. As you can just see from the other brush I just tried to use, other brushes I just have a hard time getting them to blend like these Bob Ross brushes do. These are really nice brushes. Just using the side of my brush, just really softly. Just really softly, just trying to make them look more like clouds. You get a little extra paint on your paintbrush, just wipe it off. The closer you get to the horizon, make sure you keep those strokes horizontal. You'll start to flatten things out that way, and that's what you want. I'm just going over some of these areas that we blended out, putting in, because some of them got blended out maybe a little bit too, I don't want to say too much, but I would like to add a little bit more contrast to some of the cloud formations, a little bit more shadow here and there. what I've been doing, and you see me do this in the past in other videos, I like to take my finger and just do a little bit of blending. You get some really, really nice effects that you wouldn't get otherwise. You can really blend out and do lost edges and transfer color, because you pick up a little bit of paint on your finger. One thing that you want to keep in mind is there's some paints that you really don't want to come into contact with your skin. Cadmiums are one of those. Cadmium red, cadmium yellow, that kind of thing. And the cobalt family, you really don't want prolonged exposure to those. They are toxic, and they won't do you any favors. I find doing this allows me a little bit more control. I mean, if you want to go in with a brush, you can do the same thing with a brush, but I don't know, I just find there's an extra quality in using your finger. I don't know what it is. Okay, so now I am going to go into my Rosemary and Co brushes. Because I want nice soft, nice smooth lines. Just adding a little bit more contrast around that path area. I want it to stand out a little bit more. So I didn't do a lot of talking on this one, but the process is relatively the same. Uh, I don't know that there's a definitive answer between which one is better. They both have different qualities. I think I like them both for different reasons. I like the ability that the wax gives with a palette knife. I think it's great and forces you to be loose. Experiment with it and see what works best for you. And if you want to see something special or if you have a question, drop me a line in the comments to let me know. So keep studying, keep practicing, and go on and create something awesome. You can find inspiration anywhere. Don't be afraid to look. I'll see you next time.